Hey boys and girls, today I'm going to show you a super simple and super fast way of making egg pasta at home from scratch in a way that you can make it every day. If you like this video and you'd like to see more Italian recipes that you can quickly whip up at home to impress your friends and family, then check out the rest of the vids in this channel and remember to hit that subscribe button at the bottom. You will find lots of videos of people making pasta by hand and amount of flour with eggs inside in these beautiful settings and mixing it with the fork. But the reality of things is you need a pristine working space. You need to knead it for 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. And this often puts people off. This frightens people of making fresh pasta. But it doesn't have to be this way. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you this super fast method that will allow you to make fresh pasta dough in just under 5 minutes without making a mess all over your kitchen. To make 200 grams of pasta, enough for 2 hungry or 3 polite people, you will need 50 grams of semolina flour, 150 grams of 00, so this is very fine flour. In this case we bought this in Germany, so there it's called type 405 flour, but check for 00 flour. And you will need 2 large free-range eggs. So we picked these ones up at our local market. And for the secret ingredient, a food processor. That's right, we're just going to put everything into a food processor and let the machine do the work for us. I know it's like putting ketchup on pasta or pineapple on pizza, but in secret we all really want to do it. Next, you carefully weigh the ingredients. I tend to weigh them straight into the food processor so that there's less cleaning up to do at the end. Let's grab some of the semolina, switch on the scales, have it in grams. And there we are, 50 grams of semolina flour. Our 00 flour. There we go, 200, it doesn't matter if you go slightly over. And the next step are the eggs. So we crack an egg. Obviously you do this a bit more elegantly than me, but... Oh. And there you have it. Okay, so now that we have all of our ingredients in the food processor, set it on the lowest setting and blend away for about a minute until you see a big lump forming. If you don't see a lump forming after a minute, that's okay too. If you see that the dough is very wet, feel free to add a little flour, but you probably won't need to unless you had some gigantic eggs. If you realize that the dough is much too dry and still very floury, I'm sorry, your eggs were rather small and you'll need to add some liquid. I suggest adding just a splash of water. The next step is to put a little flour on the workbench, just as such, so that the dough doesn't stick, and then add the mixture from the food processor onto your work surface. You roughly form a cohesive ball from all the pieces out of the food processor. And then you place it on the semolina. Now comes the fun bit. Just imagine you're faced with that high school bully with your enemy, and it's your chance to get even with them. Now use the palm of your hand to really drag the pasta out. You roll it over and drag it out. Roll it over and drag it out, just to combine all of the elements that came out of the food processor. You keep going for about a minute. And at this point it shouldn't be sticky. If the dough is sticky, you can drag a bit of the semolina in that you put on the workbench in the first place. Once the dough forms a nice cohesive ball, it's time to put some cling film around it. And there you go. Perfectly made pasta sitting in its bowl ready to rest. And there you have it. A super fast, super simple way of making fresh egg pasta dough in just under 5 minutes. It's surely going to impress your friends, your family, even your grandmother, as long as you don't tell her about the food processor. All that we have to do now is make shapes out of it.